I actually support fuel subsidy removal because from every analysis or everything we've read shows that fuel subsidy itself is a scam, is for the rich or the elites. But the planning, the action taken is affecting the poor masses. Every price is skyrocketing. There is massive inflation. And there's nothing they are doing to curb it. And even the palliative they're talking about, why are they giving palliative to the same government that in 2019 we house every palliative the federal government sent to them, and it all got spoiled? So the process is not it's not going to get to the poor masses. So the poor masses are still going to suffer for it. The civil servants are buying from the market, the same salary, the same everything. Nothing has changed.
How do you feel about Tinubu's regime so far? It hasn't been long since he assumed office, but so far, how do you feel about what he has been doing?
Okay, with the little knowledge we have about him, he happens to, yes, everybody is clamoring for removal of fuel subsidy, which he did. But the challenge we had was him taking the action without planning for the consequences of his action. That is why Nigeria is having a lot of issues, even with the floating of naira, unification of naira, dollars, and everything. They are all good policies, but he never planned for the consequences of those actions. So those things are now causing a lot of inflations, and people are bearing the brunt of it.
Talking about fuel subsidy, are you happy with the fact that he removed fuel subsidy? And then I know that, okay, you just said he didn't plan for it, but the fuel subsidy have been removed, and then everything, the inflation, just like you talked about. How do you feel about the masses? Everybody's complaining. Do you support this idea of fuel subsidy removal?
I actually support fuel subsidy removal because from every analysis or everything we've read shows that fuel subsidy itself is a scam, is for the rich or the elites. But the planning, the action taken is affecting the poor masses. Every price is skyrocketing. There is massive inflation. And there's nothing they are doing to curb it. And even the palliative they're talking about, why are they giving palliative to the same government that in 2019 we house every palliative the federal government sent to them, and it all got spoiled? So the process is not going to get to the poor masses. So the poor masses are still going to suffer for it. The civil servants are buying from the market, the same salary, the same everything. Nothing has changed. And the money, the naira now does not have any value. Yeah. So there's a lot of hardship in the country. If you go to the village, you see that people are dying. When I traveled 3 weeks ago, I was attending burial for the 3 days or 4 days I was in the village. And that's my community. What do you do? Small illnesses are killing people.
Yeah.
It's very, very wrong. So yes, I support the removal of fuel subsidy, but he never planned for the consequences of his actions.
Okay. Fuel subsidy, even the whole presidential candidate have planned to remove fuel subsidy. Even Peter Obi was commenting about the fuel subsidy, that is a scam. Even Atiku, even him, Tinubu. So, but the problem we have that is that when they announced him as their president-elect, he did not plan. He just announced fuel subsidy is gone, and that is where the problem started. Even those ones that has the fuel already in the dump, just hide the fuel price. So the thing is disturbing, so bad. And now, Tinubu himself, the step he's taking about solving some problem, I myself, I see some senses in some step, but my problem is that I know that people did not vote for him. So That is my own problem.
What do you have to say about Tinubu's presidency, Tinubu's regime? What do you have to say about it? How do you feel about it? It has not been very long, but for the few months, what can you say about his presidency?
There's a lot to say about Tinubu presidency. Right from the election that brought him, there is no optimism that he will certainly do well. So, from at least the reality, it's unfolding. The election that brought Tinubu is actually kind of selection, and it's a blemish on our democracy. That shows that we've not actually advanced, and talking about democracy and its principles, actually the sanctity of democracy in this country, and it's of no use actually being claimed that we are a democratic country, and then there is no rules of law. Nobody obeys the rules of law. The court order is not followed. All the parastatals of the government is undermined. There is all indices that we can actually point out to at least to substantiate this fact. So it's Tinubu regime is just a mess of a thing. So the Nigerians have to live with it if the judiciary fail to dispense a good judgment concerning the issues that is actually at hand. So I hope I wish Nigeria well. That's what I have to say.
You said something about selection. So do you think that he was selected or he was elected?
We saw that the results did not reflect popular opinion.
Okay.
So what do we say?
Okay.
Should we assume that is an election that is free and fair? No. That's just it. So we have to clear our conscience, even though the reality is actually staring at our face. But yeah, we just have to. We don't have to accept the fact that this is what happened. We'll have to say the truth at some point.
All right. Talking about subsidy, let's talk about subsidy. The removal of this fuel subsidy. Do you think it's a good idea? The way everything just hacked. Yesterday, I followed someone to the fuel station where he had to buy fuel of 1,000 naira, and I noticed that this was just about 1.60 something liters. I was surprised. I was like, "Is it 1,000 naira that bought 1 liter of fuel?" He was like, "Yes." So everything has changed. Everything has changed. So I think the whole subsidy and fuel hike and everything is a good idea.
We all know that subsidy is a mirage. It's not real. It's only a fool that would believe that subsidy is actually real outside it. So it's just like kind of avenue, kind of tools for the people in governance, for the people in the high echelons of governance to siphon public words. That's just it to me. Because what are you subsidizing? In a monocultural economy that we know ourselves and we are trying to put things in order. Do we have refineries that is working? That's what we should even look in. The money that is being used to subsidize in a year, if it can be put together and develop a good refinery. Subsidy for all this, nobody will be talking about subsidy regime, subsidy this stuff, subsidy that. Who has subsidy help? Okay, now that they've removed it, okay, is the money will the money be judiciously used? That's the question. That's why I said it's a mirage. So all these things is just trying to, because one thing I believe is that all these politicians, they don't feel it because they ride on the taxpayers' money, and so they don't care about who burns for it. They don't care because the money is not coming out from their pocket. It's coming from the government, from the taxpayers' money. So from the revenue generated from all parastatals, more. So I just wish Nigerians well. That's just it. Because there is much to say about all this.
How has the fuel subsidy removal affected you?
Me personally, I said something about it earlier on. It has changed my nature of the job I did before.
Okay.
I have to assume another job for me to at least to keep pace with at least just to keep establishing wages coming in, because I can't say I'm living well. Just for me, that's why I use establishing wages for me to at least find something to eat and to care for my loved ones, so my family and the rest. So definitely it has a huge negative impact on me. But I would take it out as that negativity as something that I have to assume. I just have to like, okay, it's an opportunity for me to look somewhere else. Yeah.
Looking at the condition of the countries since after the removal of subsidy, I cannot. It's not. There's nothing has changed. Nothing has changed since they removed it. There's no improvement. Government has not done anything that shows that it because of that fuel the subsidy that was there that made them not to do this. Now they removed it. Nothing is moving for better. Nothing is good. No good thing that has happened since then. So I'm not in support that I can never support them that they removed this fuel subsidy. It's not good that they removed it. Even if maybe people were enjoying it there. I'm comfortable then than to compare to this condition that they put us into now. When fuel subsidy was there, nothing has changed. I used to go out. I used to see people trekking because of the increment in the transports. Because of the tricycle, where they used to move with 100 naira is now 200 naira. Where they used to move with 200 naira is now 300 or 400 naira. So people decided not to follow or travel with all these mini transporters like tricycle, minibus, and all these pick and drop. Many of them concluded that instead of using that money to transport, it's better they transport and use their leg, trek with their leg, and maybe use that money for another thing. Before, some people used to 15 naira. You say, how much? What is 15 naira? You enter keke, they will pick you, drop you there. Before you know, you have already done with whatever you want to do. You enter another this, but now instead of entering bus, you prefer using trekking by leg. So nothing has changed. It affects us in many ways. Some people are complaining that they charge them in the office where they're working, they deduct their money because they came late. Some people because at the end of the month, it means you end up generating funds for transporters. So people prefer using trekking by leg to go to work and come back. So, but even if they charge, they cut their money because of the way because they came late to the office. They prefer that one than to maybe at the end they end up using. They end up working for transporters. So the idea of this, if I'm to suggest, or if I have the power to talk to them, I would have asked them to return the fuel subsidy.